Okay, we are on the recording right now.
Okay. Where? So it's on right now.
He's on.
We about to get into it right away.
What do you say to those families who say, listen, we can't afford to pay $4.85 a gallon for months, if not years. This is just not sustainable.
What we heard from the president today was a clear articulation of the stakes. This is about the future of the liberal world order, and we have to stand firm.
I like how they changed it from New World to Liberal World.
I like that too. That's an interesting take right there. You know, because everything has to have terms now. Everything has to have terms and allocations slash obligations to those terms
Mm-hmm.
to be fulfilled and satisfied for the public to be happy and accept what is going on.
Yo, what up? What up? Welcome to the fucking show. It's Name Droppin. This is what, the 8th episode? You know what
Yes,
I'm saying?
sir.
Yo, right. We almost a double digits, y'all. This shit's
Yes,
crazy.
sir.
But yes. So you heard the first clip, a little bit about it afterwards, and then we opinionated the whole splish. So if you don't get it, if you don't understand what we're talking about,
What do you say to those families who say,
Oh, sorry.
listen,
And just to add to the flavor of the name dropping, that was Brian Deese, Biden advisor.
Biden's advisor,
Yeah, one of Biden's advisors.
One of
Brian
Biden's.
Deese. Brian Deese.
nuts. Just kidding. Sorry.
Ah, that was nice, but yes, him.
Yeah. So
It's him.
Brian
Brian Deese nuts.
That's it.
So look, look him up
Check
without
him
the
out.
D's nuts part, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, without nuts part.
Yeah, because
It is Brian Deese.
this is serious, guys. We're
Yeah,
here
no
on
more
podcast.
jokes.
Hey.
So
But yeah, he said, how can you expect families to pay $4.85 a gallon for gas for the next couple of years or whatever?
right
I mean,
for the next couple months, if not years.
because even right now, as you already know, the money for the people isn't splishing. The money for the people is down right now. The dollar probably is close to not even existing anymore.
Yeah, it's in the scarce department. If you were looking for it, it's in the scarce department. Go, 4 aisles over and you'll see it.
Check that suggestion box that nobody uses. But for real though, like, so basically it's just like, how can we live in this world knowing damn well we don't have the money to be doing the shit we're doing, but this man Joe Biden, name dropping another one, because we're talking about Biden's advisor. Just want to know which Biden we talking about. Joe Biden is out here making these claims that we can do this, that people that people can take care of themselves, basically, because we haven't been able to do that. People have been fighting for 15 to raise the fucking minimum wage forever. But y'all raising gas prices, y'all raising everything else. Y'all raised the price of food, y'all raised the price of gas, y'all raised the price of washing your ass. But I am still only making, well, not me, but the people who are just starting out getting jobs and whatnot, are only making $15 an hour.
And that's the trick of raising minimum wage. Because now, if you raise minimum wage, you could raise everything, the cost of everything, the price of everything.
So it was a trick.
And it's always been a trick. It hasn't been, oh, we need to make more money so we can afford shit. It's start making shit so expensive. That's really what it has been about.
Mm-hmm. And we've been seeing it too. Like, we don't even gotta do all this extra stuff that they telling us to do. Like, we saw it with the CV19. Like, everybody was working from home. Y'all could be working from home forever.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all could be doing the same shit y'all doing in the office at your house. You got a computer at your house.
Yeah, for real.
So
For real.
why are we doing this complication? Why are we complicating everything?
Only to be compromised in the end. How many people? So many people took the solution, took their Hegelian dialectic, and been like, still caught up in the same situation, because that's really actually not the answer. The answer is always has been and always will be us. We're the ones who choose and dictate how everything continues to move progressively forward. So with that being said, we need to discuss and disintegrate this idea that our agreement or our like assimilation, not assimilation, but our agreement into whatever they're putting forth to us,
Our part that we're playing.
our part that we're playing really will change our futures, when our part that we're playing can also change our futures in another way, not in the way that they're presenting to us, but in our own way, in the common sense way that we're operating in. We need to understand that, hey, just because this is a law don't mean that it has to be a law. It could be how we're actually living day to day. Because most of the things that's laws or whatever is just based off of projections. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, if enough people do this, this should happen. And you talk to your everyday Joe, average Joanne. We're over here saying, well, yeah, that could happen, but right now that's not happening for me right now. Think about yourself right now. Don't think about your neighbor. Don't think about your best friend, your cousin. Don't think about none of them. Think about yourself right now. Is this helping you? Is this law you're voting for helping you right now?
Right. Are you just playing your part in their picture that they're trying to paint for you?
Because trust me, the person that you think that you're helping don't know and or doesn't care about you. They care about themselves because they're actually in a lower position than you. So they're not thinking about you. So you need to think about yourself when you're voting for these things. Are you going to be happy for this? Are you going to be happy that, oh, all my guns are banned? Are you going to be happy that, oh, all my... Yeah, I'm gonna go crazy with this. Are you gonna be happy that all my abortions are banned? Are you? Yes or no? And it's about you. It's not about you caring about other people. Because at the end of the day, the people that's in a more precarious position than you, they're not thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves. So you need to think about yourself.
Yeah.
You need to think about yourself. You need to think about, hey, am I happy with what's going on?
Exactly. Stop trying to be
trying to be a fucking hero. Stop trying to be John Smith. Stop trying to be Pocahontas. Stop trying to be all these Disney characters. You're not them. You're yourself. You're who you are. You need to vote for what you are doing.
What you actually believe in. What you actually want to happen. Like, for actual freedom. You know? Like, it's so wild because all the people that we actually are voting for put in office, aren't they supposed to be the servants of the people? Aren't they supposed to, like, serve the people? Like, the police serve the people. The firefighters are supposed to be there for the people. Like, all this stuff that's happening is supposed to be for the people. So, but somehow it turned into we're voting for these people to make the stuff happen. We don't have to vote for these people to make the stuff happen. You can do whatever you need to do right now. You could start a whole business. You could start a whole farm. You could start your whole anything. You could do whatever you want. You don't need any of these people to make your goal sound good. Well, I need this guy's going to do healthcare for me. Okay, great. But did you know healthcare starts at home? You don't even got to vote for an appeal or whatever that these people are trying to push, because at the end of the day, they're pushing that to get you in the hospital. It's kind of I don't want to say redundant, but what did you say earlier? We compromise and then get compromised, right? So you got healthcare, you got health plans, and that they're supposed to be taking care of you. You voted for that bill. That same bill that you voted for puts you in the hospital, and now you're spending millions of dollars trying to keep yourself alive,
right,
when you could have did it for yourself at the beginning.
Right.
What'd you vote for? What are you voting for? What's the point in voting? You're putting your life in somebody else's hands. And like he said, they don't give a damn about you. They got your vote. That's it. How many times have we seen that? Well, we're gonna put hot sauce in our bag so we get the nigger vote. We're gonna talk in Spanish to get the Hispanic vote. They do anything to appeal to you to get your mind, to take your mind away from you.
The word vote is synonymous to your mindset. The word vote is synonymous to your feelings. The word vote is synonymous to, your lifestyle. All these things are synonymous to the vote. So when you vote, understand that you are submitting,
Submitting your vote.
submitting your life, submitting
Yep.
your emotions, submitting your mind to this ideology. Now, the word ideology, let's play with that. The word ideology is far-reaching and expansive. So you could say, "Oh, I believe in this aspect of this ideology. I believe in this aspect of feminism. I believe in this aspect of, blackism. I believe in this aspect of entrepreneurship." But understand that that's still an individual aspect. That does not cover the entirety of the word. These words are, in a sense, ubiquitous or far-reaching or covering many people. It's broad.
It's an umbrella.
It's an umbrella. It's a umbrella. So you could sit here and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna vote for this because it fits this part of me." All right, but
Now we're running around with an old ass person falling off of bikes, falling up the stairs. You know what I'm saying? He can't make up his mind. He can't speak. He don't know what the fuck's going on.
he got a whole set of people speaking for him. That's how crazy it is.
And if you were paying attention at the beginning, niggas advisors don't even agree with this man.
Or the niggas advisors agree with an aspect of this man. So they're actually using this man to progress their own actual agendas that they got going on for your ass.
Look at that.
And you a lot of people is not ready to hear this. That there are people that's I was arguing with somebody. I know it's kind of crazy what I'm gonna say, but I was arguing with somebody earlier today about the intentions, or that there can be possibly nefarious intentions at this place that contains a large hadron collider, right? And this man was really trying to tell me, "Oh, everything that they produce is 100% transparent. Everything that every experiment, every project they do is immediately posted up." And I'm like, "Bro, do you work there? Do you monitor every single person that works there, bro? That you know this? How can you tell me this? How can you say this with so much certainty that everything that is experimented on and happens there is 100% transparent? That's impossible."
The only way I can agree with that person is if that person was doing the experiments and getting, or not even doing them, but just like there when they were doing them. And
The overseer, exactly as I'm saying.
Yeah.
Unless you're an overseer of every person that works there, you could not tell me that every piece of information that is discovered or just done in general is being communicated to us
Everybody, yeah.
with 100% transparency. You could never say that. That doesn't make sense. And then I was like, I broke it down to this man. I said, "Okay, all right, you saying all that? Okay, so who pays for it?" "Oh yeah, the government." All right, that all right. I'm gonna cut you off right there. The government, which is already a compartmentalized entity, pays for your entity. How could that then be 100% transparent if the thing that's paying for your thing is compartmentalized? That means the rest of that thing that's paying for your thing don't even know that they're paying for your thing. Does that make sense?
Don't even fucking matter to
Because it's compartmentalized. Exactly. It's broken down. everything is broken down, so you can't be like, oh yeah, everybody knows what's going on. No. Do you not understand what the definition of compartmentalized means? That means broken down by sections. Nigga, you don't have a job, bro? So let's break it down. We work at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
The cashier don't know how much stock of meat there is for the fryer.
Ah, see, he's
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Because they are working on the frying.
Mm-hmm.
The fryer don't know how much money is in the cash register because they're not the cashier.
Right.
The cashier.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what are you telling me right now that, everything's 100% compartmental? I mean, everything's 100% transparent about the discoveries, blah, blah, blah. No, my G. No, because not everybody is working on the same shit. We could break it down any other type of occupation. You want to talk about a construction site? The electricians don't know what the plumbers are doing.
Right. Exactly.
The plumbers don't know what the carpenters are doing.
There's actually been cases. What's that lady's name from the Boston? Fuck. All right, I'm gonna have to look this one up. But while I'm looking it up, I'm gonna explain the whole shit.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a lady that was working in not the narcotics, but like forensics or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
For like like when they were doing like the drug deals and shit, they were like, arresting people, putting the evidence in the lockers and shit. But of course, before they put the evidence or the drugs or whatever it is in the locker, they gotta test it to see what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they had the lady that was doing the testing. They had a whole Netflix series on it. But basically, the lady that was doing the testing on the drugs was stealing the drugs, which means that now if you're stealing the drugs or whatever, like that fucks up cases for everybody, because now the evidence is coming in and it says it's this and it's this and it's this, but it's not matching up. So now everybody's going to jail for more than or less than or whatever, but nobody knew what the fuck was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So that one person had a whole agenda of her own,
right.
taking the drug, taking the evidence for whatever reason or whatever she was doing,
right,
and fucking up the rest of the shit. So now you can take, like you said, we can put this shit to any job or whatever, but just take that little example that I just put together, and just put it to the what'd you say, the CERN. Name dropping to the CERN friggin' thing that we were just talking about, like how, or even all the government experiments that we talked about. What we talked about last time, Tuskegee.
Yeah.
Okay, so did everybody know that they were just giving people syphilis?
Nope, they did not.
Did everybody know that they were just giving niggas diseases?
No, they did not, and they still don't.
But the people that were doing the actual tests knew what they were doing, right?
To an extent.
And then it came out later, all these people have syphilis now. All these people got all these diseases and all this. Well, how'd that happen? Well, motherfuckers was doing experiments on people, and it didn't come out till later that that's what they were doing. So it's never, nobody's ever divulging all information. I don't care who you are. And if you are, good for you. Because I'm not saying like never. Obviously, you can't say never, because there are people that are open books like that. But for the most part, if you got a secret that you ain't trying to tell somebody, or you got a hidden agenda that you ain't trying to tell somebody about so they can just go along with your whole shit, that's not transparency, my G.
Right.
That's literally what everything, that's literally everything that's going on right now. Everything from your food to your toothpaste to your fucking clothes that you're wearing to the cotton to the different materials. Why do you think there's different materials for different pants, different clothes, different shirts? Why do you think there's different ingredients in different foods? Why is there a vegan shit? Why is there a vegetarian option? Why is there a meat option? Why are there options if everything is supposed to be cool?
It's because it's not cool. Because there's people that's in conflict, or people that's in control, I should say, that are in conflict with each other. So now you're sitting here thinking you have to adhere to one or the other, or saying that this is the way or this is not the way, da da da. You can say whatever you want to say. But at the end of the day, every person is born with an innate and inherent freedom where it doesn't have to be transcribed to you. You understand that you were just born. I mean, I understand that. I can't even say that you are born with such understanding. I can only have faith that you understand that you were born with such understanding, that you were just born. You didn't ask to be here. We're all just here.
Mm-hmm.
So how can anybody tell you otherwise how to live?
Thank
You have no allegiance to them. You could do what you got to do. Now, that doesn't mean I have to agree with you. I can still be like, nah, nigga, you on some other shit. That's free for me. But
Mm-hmm.
you need to understand that that's free for me to do that, because that's free for you. As long as I don't come and attack you or try to create an obstacle for you to do what you want to do, you can't be mad at me. But that don't mean I'm not gonna do it though. And see, there's layers to the shit. That's what people don't understand. There's layers to this reality that we're in. There's layers
So
within
fucking
this. We're in a layer, but then there's layers within the layer. And I'm inclined to believe that I'm on a very higher level to allow you guys to operate around me. Cause me, yo, let this man tell you, I'm a different type of guy. I'm a different type of G out here. I'm okay with y'all doing what you want to do, because most of the things that you want to do is less than what I want to do. Period. I want to do some stuff that is beyond your scope of thought. Now, you could feel offended by that. You could feel like I'm too arrogant or whatever. That's cool. That's you apply those words to me as much as you want. Go ahead. I'm not going to be mad. Go ahead. Do your thing. Just know that I am the epitome of those words. I am those things that you're saying that I am. I'm doing those things. So trust and believe that unless you become those things, I will not be caring about what you say about me or him. Because we're doing these things. We're applying these things and more than what you're actually thinking of us.
Yeah, I mean, even just right here on this podcast, like we're already saying and talking about topics that, like, I mean, I don't even know if you guys are talking about them. But if you're listening to this podcast, you must be talking about them. But we are out here expanding and doing it, and we're doing the shit that you're afraid to do. If that makes any sense, like y'all don't want to be wrong. We could be wrong. I challenge you to tell me that I'm wrong about some of the shit I'm talking about. You see, that's already different from what you are. I want to learn. I want to know what's going on. I'm not shutting out shit. I'm open to put the ideas in my hand. Tell me about them. Talk to me. What's going on? I'm not gonna shut you out. I'm not gonna say nothing. Like you said, you might be on some other shit, but I'm still gonna listen to you.
Choosing to be wrong is asking for growth. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm choosing to be wrong. He's choosing to be wrong potentially. Not that we are actually acknowledging or adhering or accepting that we're wrong, but we're saying what we want to say despite the fact that we might be wrong about what we're saying, because being wrong opens the door to being informed,
Yes.
to being
Yes.
educated. You can't be wrong. I mean, you can't learn shit if you don't fucking admit that you don't know shit.
Exactly. See, that's what I'm talking about. Everybody want to be right all the time. That's one of the problems we have here in this independent America. Here, we're afraid. Well, not we. I'm not afraid. Y'all, whoever is listening, or who, you know what? It don't even matter. If you take an offense to it, take offense to it. America is afraid to be wrong. The people in America are afraid to be wrong, even though the people that are in office and everything they're always been wrong. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You keep choosing to follow these people. You keep choosing to believe or put your life in somebody else's hands, or you're submitting your vote, or you're submitting to in general, because again, words are really important. And if you don't know the definitions for words, I can't help you. But if you keep doing that, you are literally giving up all of your actual rights, your actual freedoms, your
Right.
actual your critical thinking, your brain. You're giving up what we're talking about. You should be able to freely speak about what you think. You should be able to freely acknowledge, not acknowledge. You should be able to freely speak, say, do, obviously within means, but you're gonna do what you're gonna do, and not somebody else, but somebody else in the universe or the universe itself is gonna take care of you. Whether you do what's wrong or what's right, it shouldn't be. I'm giving up all my control, so you're in control of whatever happens to me. That's crazy, because then you end up in jail. You end up paying taxes.
Mm-hmm.
You end up with global warming. You end up with shit that don't make sense. You end up with indoctrination systems. You end up with fucking. You gotta pay for an ID. You gotta pay for a car. You gotta pay for your food. You gotta pay for fucking water. That's what happens when you give up your whole fucking shit. You gotta pay for everything. You gotta do what somebody else is telling you to do now. You're not free no more. We haven't been that way. Fuck a July 4th. y'all are. They said July 4th is Independence Day. That's when you celebrate it.
The mockery day. It's a day of mockery because they're laughing at you, laughing at I, because they know that we are not actually independent. They know that, okay, yeah, you could do this, that, and the third, but eventually you're gonna have to come to us for a permit.
Exactly.
Eventually you're gonna have to come to us for a license. Eventually you're gonna have to come to us for some type of permission to do some regular shit that you could actually just be doing without us knowing about it, because that's the system that's set up. Now we adhere to that because we sit there and get institutionalized within the education system to do these things. Oh, institutionalism, that's not only for shit. That's only for the people that adhere to these laws, period. That adheres to these mindsets, that adhere to all these other things that I'm saying.
Right? Exactly. Another word that really is institution. Yeah, you think prison or you think whatever, but there's art institutes. There's fucking
technology institutes. All of them.
You see what I'm saying?
All of them. They're all there. Like I think I said this probably last week or the other week before. It was like, back to your regularly scheduled programming. It's programming.
Yep.
Institute is the same, is synonymous with programming. So we're always going to be constantly attacked mentally, emotionally, spiritually to behave in a way that is supporting of this society. Like I just played earlier, Brian D's Nuts. He was saying, yo, the liberal shit, whatever he was saying earlier that I was playing, saying that, yo, we have to adhere to these mindsets that they're placing upon us. Now, don't get me wrong. I am also acknowledging that there will be destruction / violence acted upon the weaker mindset of people. There's not going to be loss in any way. It's either way which you want to turn. There's going to be loss. There's going to be violence. There's going to be destruction. But if you already acknowledge that, then you also acknowledge the theory of evolution, Darwinism, all that stuff. So you understand natural selection. You understand that the weak will not provide, or use dog eat dog, whatever word you want to say, whatever phrase you want to coin for this concept. That is going to happen. That is going to occur because that is a part of what is going on.
Yes.
So now we could sit here and argue, or we could sit here and try to debate about who should go, who should not go, blah, blah, blah. All right, go ahead. I got my opinions, you got yours. Don't matter. At the end of the day, who's going to be there at the end? You could argue, oh, all lives matter. I could argue Black Lives Matter. We could argue that shit. Then at the end of the argument, who is there? That's what actually matters. It don't really matter the rest of the shit. We could argue all day about that. Guess what? Time goes on without us. It don't matter who is waiting, yes or no. That you need to keep these things in perspective of what's going on. You know, I and my partner here, who's on this podcast talking to you right now, we a higher understanding of this, in which we are talking to you guys, hoping that we could transcend these little differences, these little whatever categories that you want to put on us every day.
Yep.
We are hoping that we can transcend that along with our listeners to progress forward with as many of us humanity as possible. Now, that doesn't exclude people that are still stuck in the past, still stuck in their mindsets from before, what they learned in their indoctrination systems. That doesn't exclude them.
Indoctrination camps.
You know what I'm saying? We include them along with us. But we know that they have to do a job. So now, think about it like frontline infantry, right? In a war.
The grunts.
There's grunts that know how to grunt. And then there's grunts that are just grunts.
And
I'm a grunt that knows how to grunt.
Yeah, easy. We know how to play the part.
Do you know what I'm saying?
You know, we don't have to play the part fully. You know, just like you know how
we're playing grunts as NPCs. I'm a grunt NPC. You cannot play me, but I cannot be played as well. So you gotta play against the grunts that are NPCs that think they can be played. Play against them, cause they're the ones that get knocked out.
Yeah.
Team
nice.
Rocket. You don't battle everybody against Team Rocket. You battle against the people that you run into.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. You don't see the boss till, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's the only motherfucker left.
And even him, you run into him. You still don't run into the lieutenant. You still don't run into private general. You don't run into none of those other categories. You run into the general or captain, and you run into the fucking grunts. You don't run into regular niggas. Them niggas, what about them? They are moving on. They going, okay, all right, I'm not Team Rocket no more. I'm just a regular nigga that knows how to do this shit. Moving on in life, because life is beyond that. Life is a license to live. Don't matter no other title. Life is a license to live. So I could be whoever I want to be. You could be whoever you want to be. You're sitting here listening to me. You are being who you want to be listening to me. And I'm being who I want to be talking to you.
Exactly. You can do whatever, whenever, however.
In whatever capacity.
You
go as far as you can. Because guess what? Don't matter what you want to say. Life is not perfect. You will run into obstacles. You will run into an adversary.
Yeah, that's life. That exact, you know what I mean? That's just how life's gonna be. Like, you're gonna do something and somebody's gonna tell you you can't do that, and boom.
And then it's all about how do you overcome that.
Right. How do you keep moving forward? How do you keep doing your thing? How do you keep being you? How do you not get lost? How do you not, you know what I'm saying?
And if you don't overcome that, that is your role. Your role is to be a loser.
Because that's what you want to be.
And I'm saying a loser because that is the pinnacle of the words I know how to describe that. But you could also be a growing point. You could be a growing point for that other person. You don't have to be a loser. You could be something that helped that other person move forward. And that's what I feel like a lot of people don't have anymore, is that love for humanity, to love another person moving forward, to be like, all right, like, yes, like, finally you got over me. The people don't look at themselves as being an obstacle. You can be an obstacle. Be that.
You can.
Be that and be like happy to be that. Like, a nigga gotta get past me to get over here.
Bro, you never played a video game before? You never seen a boss at the top of the list after you get through everybody else? Come on. There are powerful people. There are people that are going to teach you lessons. They're going to be people that teach you. They're going to teach you stupid shit. They're going to teach you lessons. They're going to teach you how to be. They're going to teach you something you need to know. Whether it's good, bad, it's useful. All of it is going to be useful. But you have to see that. You can't be in a situation and be like, oh, I'm in a situation from a TV show. This is how they did that. Because you're going to act out somebody else's life. You're acting out a dependence. You're not acting out your independence. You're not acting out what would you do in that situation. This is your chance to be your chance to be somebody that you want to be without influence, without somebody telling you no, without somebody else putting in their 2 cents to change your mind. And that's what everything is doing. That's what everything's been doing. Everything stops you. I was having a conversation the other day with I was talking about words. So basically, like, for a child who's going to school right now, if you tell them, if you want to travel or you want to go somewhere and you're like, oh, let's go learn about this area or this new area that we've never seen before, that child is gonna be like, no, I don't want to learn. I go to school every day and I learn, and it sucks. You know. But if you give them a different word, one that's not associated with they've been indoctrinated to pay attention to, or to like what trigger words or whatever, you got to use different words for different people. Like, you trying to go immerse yourself in a new life? What? That sounds crazy. Yeah, but if I said learn about a new life, you'd be like, I just came from school. Like, I don't want to do that. What the fuck? Fuck this.
Right.
So it's, again, like, everything that you've learned, that you've seen, that you've watched, listened to, been a part of, if you didn't have that experience on your own, you're going to recall when you saw that on TV or you saw that somewhere else and use that experience to justify your life right now. Right. And you're not going to be happy about it because that's not what you wanted to do.
Right.
You're doing the safe shit. You're doing the oh, well, I saw this and it worked. Okay, what about that shit that didn't work? Okay. All right, cool. This guy got a whole gun. You seen it on TV, you want to run and hide like a bitch, right? You want to hide like a bitch. I'm not saying I wouldn't, but different, whatever. Who knows what type of situation I might be in. Maybe I might be in a different type of mood, right? I seen on TV, go hide like a bitch. Nah, I want to be a hero today. I want to be that nigga. Now, you might get shot. Okay. But you might save the day, though. So you're already doing different shit. You're already being who you want to be. You're already taking control of your life to be like, I'm not going to die today. At least I'm going to make sure that I slow somebody else down. Then I can influence other people around me to do the same shit, to stand up for ourselves, to be the actual fucking life that is supposed to be meant to live.
Right, correct.
You know what I mean?
And and what he's saying is so essential because it compounds upon itself to be to be an awakener or awakening person, to be like, oh, well, if I could do that, I could do this. Exactly. It builds upon itself. It's not something that is just a singularity where it's just, oh, that's just happened and then I gotta restart from square one. No. You build from that square in which you have established for yourself.
Exactly.
A lot of people, I feel like a lot of people, they always revert back to square one when it's really like, you establish a square one. You have a square one. Trust me, I'm on square 49. Like, I'm on a whole other. I'm square 63. Like, I'm moving forward. Y'all people need to understand that, hey, there are squares in which I need to continue moving forward. There's not everybody's falling back to square one. Not everybody. Yeah, I fell back to square one because I was weak enough to fall back to square one. But you need to accept the fact that there's people that didn't fall back to square one because they were not weak enough to fall back to square one. There's people that made it to square 17, square, etc.
Yep.
Beyond you. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in perspective of what's going on. And that's all we're saying. Keep moving forward. Somebody I know that I hold to high esteem in their thought process and how they break down things, they were like, when you tell yourself that you should do something, that's actually God talking to you. Now, you could say God does this, that, and the third, religious. All right, cool. You're done? All right. God, to me, means your inner voice, your acknowledgement towards something that is beyond this physical realm where we're at. That's what God is to me. God is a name to describe our thoughts, our feelings and emotions and so on combined as one thing. So when I say, oh my God, that means, oh my feelings, like, oh my existence right now.
Right.
Oh my intuition. Oh my whatever else you want
Oh
to.
me.
You know what I'm saying? Oh me. And to the religious people that's hearing me say this, that's thinking I'm saying some blasphemy, you already know that God is everybody, everywhere. So don't look at this as a blasphemy. Look at this as an adherence or an acknowledgement to your God, to our God, because I am also adhering to that I am beyond right now where I'm at. So I'm acknowledging that there is something, or I am something that is beyond right now what I'm talking about. So now moving forward, so when we hear and adhere to that, our instincts, our gut feeling, we can now operate
Fucking shine.
where we're at, what we're doing, instead of trying to adhere to somebody else that's operating right here, right now. No, I'm operating in the spiritual realm. I'm operating in the divine realm. I'm operating where I'm supposed to be.
Because
Are you?
I'm in control.
I'm in control. I've been in control, and I'm accepting my control of me. I'm accepting my control of me. I'm not accepting your control of me. I'm not accepting my teacher's control of me. I'm not accepting Joe Biden's control of me. I'm accepting my control of me. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. That's why I don't got... Bro, I walk around... You see me getting the police chasing me every 2 seconds? Nope. Because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
I'm cool.
And when I'm around you, I don't see the police. I don't see the FBI. I don't see none of these niggas coming after him. Because he's doing what he's supposed to do.
I'm chilling, splishing, doing what I'm supposed to be
We're
doing.
splishing on a spiritual and on a divine level. Y'all niggas is still trying to catch up and trying to understand how we even doing what we doing. Niggas is entirely blessed out here, and y'all niggas is still out here trying to figure out what's going on. I'm looking at y'all like y'all should be blessed too. We should be having more niggas around us that's blessed with us.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, and I'm gonna bring up a whole good example for right now about that, because like you said, everybody should be blessed right now, but everybody's playing parts in the game and some bullshit in the world of this whatever, right? So you're telling me there should be more niggas, right? That should be around us, that should be out here with the mindset, independence, and doing it, killing it, right?
Yep.
They are out there, but they, like us, are trying to fit in to society. Well, I gotta be a drug dealer. I gotta be a basketball player. I gotta be a fucking
computer scientist.
Yeah, or I gotta be a rapper or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So we've already, and again, this is what I'm talking about, because us right now, me and him, we had the same choice. Could have been drug dealers. We could have been out there rapping. We could have been out there fucking shooting, gangbang, whatever negative connotation the world want to put on people of color right now. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened to a lot of people. Y'all get sucked in. Whoa, you gotta be a hood nigga. You gotta be from the hood, so you gotta do this. This is what a hood occupation looks like. Cause I'm from the hood, I gotta be a hood person. Nigga, I'm from the hood. I don't follow the hood occupations, because that's what they told me. That's what they told us what we have to be. And this is the same type of shit that goes on in all the movies from the past, like Boys in the Hood, fucking South Central.
Don't be a menace.
Don't be, all that shit. Yo, you don't gotta be what they telling you to fucking be.
Mm-hmm.
You don't gotta be that shit. Step out of that. Stop trying to fit in. Stop trying to be the, I gotta do this. I gotta get the bag. I gotta get the, so I can fucking. All right, but listen. You can get the bag as a real estate manager too, my nigga. You could be a real estate manager. You could be a horseback rider. You could be a musician. You could be a zookeeper, my nigga. You could be a beekeeper. You could be a fucking
accountant, all that.
All that. You don't have to sit and fit in to what they want you to be. That's the number one mistake where we start at all the time. And then wonder why niggas is in jail. Now we screaming, free that nigga. He didn't have to be in there. You didn't have to tell him he had to be that. You could have told him some other shit. You could have been some other shit. You should have pulled him out of that shit. Because you knew that you didn't have to do that. So why does he have to do that? Why do they have to go through that shit? Why should they go through that shit?
They shouldn't. They shouldn't, because in the grand scheme, we're here together. We're operating together as a unit, as a one society.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Black Lives Matter, so Black Lives also act together. Black Lives also
Live together.
prosper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Black Lives prosper. How about that? How about BLP out here? Black Lives prosper.
Look at that.
You know what I'm saying? Real talk. So y'all out here, all right, we ain't gonna stuck on that. But what this man's saying is real truth. We don't have to adhere to the negative aspects. We don't have to adhere to any aspects.
Right.
Black Lives Live. How about the BLL? Black Lives Live.
Look at that shit.
Their lives. How about BLLTL, my nigga?
Yep.
Black Lives Live their lives. And we live coherently with each other.
Copacetics.
You know what I'm saying? My favorite word is adherence, but let's talk about coherence, where we are living together inexplicably amongst each other. We don't have to wait for anybody's approval or nothing like that.
Nope.
To do what we got to do. We don't have to be like, oh, I gotta do my W-2 forms or my 1099s. No, we don't gotta do none of that. We already accept the fact that, oh, they brought us here on slave ships, or oh, they took our native aboriginal status away from us. All right, so we're already acknowledging that is happening. What are we doing? What are we waiting for? Why are we doing no paperwork? We understand that we don't gotta do paperwork to fucking work together. We could just work together.
Just make it work. Just make it happen.
Just make it work. Make it happen. Would you rather your mom or your grandmoms or your granddads have a house and whatever estate, or would you rather do some paperwork where freaking the IRS is coming after you? Like, would you rather? Which one would you rather?
Right.
Okay, all right. We already know the answer to that because we're black, and we're not gonna have you send no fucking submission to us because we already understand what the answer is. We don't have to. That's rhetorical. Exactly. Don't send me shit. So now we're sitting here. Past that, we have to act. We have to now move forward. With the acknowledgement of that shit I just said, we have to move forward with just doing the shit. We don't have to keep talking about trust funds. We don't have to keep talking about all that shit. Every time you guys bring up trust funds, every time you bring up some tax shit, every time you bring up all this other stuff, that is just another acknowledgement into the things that everybody else claims is an oppression upon us.
Right.
I'm trying to break free of the oppressions. How you beat oppression? By not giving a fuck about them. Do what you want to do. That's how you beat an oppressor, is by doing what you want to do.
Exactly.
And let the oppressor come after you. Because guess what? If we all doing what we want to do and the oppressor always less than the oppressed. Never forget that. The oppressor is always less than the oppressed, numerically. So now, let us do what we want to do. Oppressor want to come through? Guess what? There's 3 million oppressed and 250,000 oppressors.
See?
They gonna get beat. They gonna get their ass beat up, my niggas. That's real shit. No bullshit. Like, real talk. We really out here saying real shit to y'all. And I'm really meaning this from my bottom of my heart. Like, I'm really saying this to you guys. Like, there's no stipulations. There's no statutes on how big we can grow. How strong we can be. How intelligent we can be. How clever, how shrewd we can be.
I keep saying it. I'm gonna say this until the day I fucking die. Like, it don't like you said. There's one oppressor to every 3 however many fucking million people, right? Like, we're all supposed to be human beings, right? Mm-hmm. So you're telling me that my neighbor, your neighbor, our neighbors, our cities, our towns, our townships or whatever, you're telling me if all of Boston citizens came together to get some shit done, we couldn't just take over City Hall? You're telling me that if everybody in... You guys did it. Y'all niggas had the Million Man March, right? Didn't we have that? Niggas marching.
Yep.
Y'all niggas march for everything.
Yep.
Y'all march for everything. Listen, you march for everything. White people vote for everything. Black and white, y'all y'all are on two sides of the same coin. You know what I'm saying? One is voting for this shit, and the other one hates the shit. But y'all both don't like the shit in general. So what if we, like, I know Martin Luther King said come together and all the extra shit to live nicely. All right, but what if we come together on some splishing shit and we take over this fucking place? You know what I'm saying? Like, Million Man March. You gonna tell me we couldn't take the White House? Million Man March. You telling me we couldn't take Capitol Hill? Million Man March. You telling me we can't do nothing? We can only fucking walk?
Yo, that's why I be laughing at these marches, because the organizers of these marches have to get permits, and that always makes me laugh. Like,
right,
they announce or pronounce these marches because the nigga who went and applied for the shit got approved for the shit. Nigga, can we do our march without fucking going to City Hall first?
Can we protest for
do the march, my
for
G,
real?
and be like, there's no barricades, there's no fucking police detail, none of that shit. That's a real march to me, because that's what I grew up understanding as a march. Is niggas, as our people going up and stating their grievances, stating they want a severance apart from whatever the standard was at that time and whatever the standard is at this time. So you could say all this stuff. Oh, we marching for this, we marching for that, we marching for the rich people, we marching for the poor people, we marching for the black people, we marching for the women,
all of them.
That's all fine and dandy, but if you have to get approval to do that, that means so much less to me.
Thank you. Because that means not only...
That means that they are prepared for that. They are prepared for whatever...
They're prepared to intimidate your bitch ass.
And whatever compliance to get you to feel happy or whatever to get you feel good about yourself. You know what I'm saying? We'll give you a couple, 1, 2, 3 of your grievances.
Yeah, we'll shut the street down for you to march.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, did you get what you really actually wanted? And all the time, for me personally, from my perspective, it's always a no.
Motherfuckers got a happy meal.
You know what I'm saying? We got a march out of it. All right, cool. That's what you went up there for, is a march. Also, they'll give you the compliances for a march, my G.
Also, too, don't get us wrong. Listen, when I talk about marches, I'm only bringing up the marches that I know of, okay? There could be Armenian marches, there could be European marches, there could be Nigerian marches, but they're all still the same marching. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, are we really getting anywhere with anything that we really need to get? Or are we going to keep doing, or are we going to be insane? Keep doing the same shit and hoping we get different outcome.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. That's what we've been doing. Like, niggas been marching since 1920. Niggas been fighting for freedom since 1800s, my nigga. Niggas been doing this shit since 1725. Women been trying not to get raped since fucking 1500, bro. Like, come on. Let's just, like, if you're taking my words as offense, cool. That means you're mad. That means you should have more than you already got.
That means you should be listening harder
you know what I'm saying?
Than the person that's not offended.
Right.
Listen harder to what we're saying. We're not downing nobody's agenda, none of that. But what we're saying is that the method in which we are proceeding is not effective.
It's no trabajo. No trabajo, whatever. It doesn't
no
matter.
trabajo,
it's not working.
No.
You know
No trabajo out here.
And,
nah.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're offended, like I said, be offended, be mad at the truth. That's what it is. Because that's all we've been doing. That's all we've been doing is getting mad at, well, like you said, well, we've been marching, we've been doing this, we've been doing that, but they've been facilitating the whole thing.
Yep.
So you can't even go out there and scare nobody.
Nope.
Because they're like, nah, we actually here to scare you because we got the guns, we got the grenades, we got the flashbangs, we got all that. So if y'all niggas get out of hand, we gonna contain you like we've been doing.
Yep. And that's why I always say I'm a strong advocate that we should never ban no type of weapons, because we should always be armed. We should always arm ourselves. And yeah, niggas gonna hate on me. Niggas gonna be whatever. And I'll take that 100% upon myself. Do not blame this man that's on this podcast with me. I'm just saying 100% myself. How I believe is that we should never disarm ourselves because of that. What he just said, in which we can never rely upon the armed people to watch out for us because their agendas can at any time be different from ours.
And just like we said earlier, the compartmentalism or whatever it was, like however the word goes, you got the grunts shooting at the civilians because the leaders, the king, queen, the rooks, and the knights told them to. So we're mad at the grunts, and the grunts don't know what the fuck's going on. We know what's going on, but they just doing what they were told to do.
Mm-hmm. Because nobody's shooting at them.
See,
you understand?
Because they got the guns. You give the grunts the guns, they don't know what's happening. They just know they protected. They good. That's
but once
why,
the grunts start getting shot at, it's a whole different game.
Oh, how many people got shot? How many times did the grunts feel threatened this year, and they shot first, or they did what they had to do? You know what I'm saying? So just pay attention and go look up Brian D's nuts, because this man sparked this whole hypocritical nation conversation that we had just now.
Right.
You know,
and DEESE is spelled DEESE. Brian DEESE, DEESE.
DEESE. Brian DEESE. Joe Biden's
political advisor.
Political advisor. Okay? You know, so we're not, this isn't something, these aren't topics and conversations that came out of nowhere. This is based off of shit you could look up. Go check it out. Go look up all the marches. Go look up all the protests. Go look up anything.
Yep.
How many protests ended with the protesters with the weapons?
Mm-hmm.
Because the people who don't want people who are watching the protests are throwing the grenades, are throwing the flashbang, the smoke grenades, the whatevers. They're keeping this shit contained. They're shooting the beanbags at people.
Mm-hmm.
We just want freedom. We just want rights. So why are y'all fighting so hard for us to not have that?
Yo, it's crazy because I was just talking about rights. Rights. Nah, rights is still man-made shit. Nah, we have inalienable existence. We have things that, none of us was born to be here. I have inalienable existence out here. If I want to cause a ruckus, I'm going to cause a ruckus because I didn't ask to be here. I'm here, though.
See?
You can't tell me I can't do this because I'm under an impression, and I'm very under an impression that you are also here under your in acknowledgement of being here.
I was just about to say.
You the fuck you actually born? You fucking was born and said, "Oh, thanks." Nah,
right?
Nobody does that.
Or you was born and you took your freedom and your whole shit in your hands and created something that you wanted to create, and now you're controlling the whole shit, right?
Nope.
So why the fuck can't I do the same shit you're doing?
Yep. I'm done talking to these niggas.
Yo, happy motherfucking Independence Day, bitch. Deuces.